Bleach has definitely had a comeback in these last couple of years within the anime and manga community. A comeback so large that it's never been seen before. And this was most prominently due to the 1000-Year Blood War arc finally being animated and the anime returning nearly after a decade's worth of hiatus. And this anime comeback sparked up many conversations about whether or not the Bleach manga will return. And I'm here to tell you guys that the Bleach manga will definitely return. And let me explain to you guys why this will happen. So some of you may be saying, the Bleach manga has concluded. Why in the world would it possibly return? We've never seen an anime or manga do this. For the manga to completely end and for them to just continue the story without making a sequel series like Boruto. Well, in a traditional sense, I would say you are right. The Bleach manga concluded August of 2016, almost 8 years ago. Why would it possibly make a comeback now? But there is so much pointing towards the Bleach manga finally coming back. So, without further ado, let's talk about it. The final chapter of Bleach was meant to be chapter 686. And as I mentioned, chapter 686 came out almost 8 years ago. And with this being the final conclusion to Bleach, fans expected this chapter to wrap up everything in the story and provide us an answer to all of the unsolved mysteries so far. However, this chapter quite literally took the exact opposite approach of what fans were thinking of. In fact, this chapter did not feel like an ending at all. It was quite the opposite. The chapter started off with all of the captains detecting Yuha's presence. Yuha, the main villain, who had just died at the hands of Ichigo, the villain who was supposed to be defeated already. Yet his presence and his power is still lingering around for some reason. So all of the captains rush to the area where they sensed his presence, and they just see a massive blob of Yuha's power just emanating from one area. So we can see that Kubo is clearly setting things up still. You don't do that with the final chapter of your series. I know you guys know how stories go. You usually explain everything, get through all the plot points, and then you conclude the series. You don't start introducing new plot points during the conclusion of your series if you're not planning on continuing it. Then we have a few pages of friendly banter between adult Ichigo and everyone else now finally grown up, and this is what we expected from the final chapter. We actually expected the entire chapter to just revolve around where every character is now with their lives. However, then we switch back to Yuha's power once again, and now we see Ichigo's son Kazui reaching for his own portion of Yuha's power. And it seems like Kazui was able to absorb Yuha's power as his own, with it finally disappearing, even Aizen stating that Yuha's power has disappeared fully now. And then the chapter ends with Kazui showing that he is also a Soul Reaper and possesses Soul Reaper powers. So, that was the entire final chapter, and it doesn't even seem like we got a proper conclusion. Instead, we were just left with even more questions and even more unsolved mysteries. Not something that a final chapter should ever be able to do. So that was that. Bleach had finally ended on that chapter, and we didn't receive much new content since then. I mean, we received a few light novels which took place after 1000-Year Blood War, but none of them addressed what had happened in the final chapter of Bleach. So we as fans just assumed that Bleach was going to end on a sort of cliffhanger in a sense. However, that all changed a few years ago because nearly 3 years ago, the Bleach one-shot came out to celebrate Bleach's 20th anniversary. And once again, this was a one-shot. We were expecting just a sort of filler chapter, a light-hearted chapter where all the characters are having fun. But again, Kubo did not give us that. Kubo gave us something completely different. Something that practically confirmed Bleach's return. He gave us an actual continuation to the story that leaves off from chapter 686. Now, this entire chapter was meant to be centered around a ceremony that was meant to honor all the captains and all the people that passed away during the Thousand-Year Blood War. And everything seemed to be going well until Ichigo and Renji were talking, and a skeleton-like figure we've never seen before randomly appears behind them, a figure that they couldn't even sense with their own powers. And very quickly, more of these creatures start appearing, and at first we think that they're hollows, but it's stated that they don't even have spiritual pressure, meaning that these creatures are something entirely new that we, even as an audience, don't even know what they are. So once again, Kubo is still introducing new things in this supposed one-shot. No mangaka does this without the intention of continuing their story. And ladies and gentlemen, here's the kicker in this one-shot. Because Espada number 8, Grons, makes his return as a resurrection of his original self, stating that he is from the depths of hell itself. Hell is a concept that we have barely explored in Bleach. We've gotten lore on the Soul Society, World of the Living, and Hueco Mundo, but hell? We barely know anything about it. So for Kubo to make it the center point of this chapter just goes to show that he wants to write about this hell arc. He wants this next arc to be completely centered around this entirely new aspect of the Bleach universe. Because why else would he resurrect an old character and point out that this character is from hell? This character literally escaped hell to be there. And then it's further explained that if a reishi or spiritual pressure is too powerful, it cannot return to the Soul Society, nor can it go into the world of the living. Therefore, all of that reishi is sent down to hell, meaning all of those captains that had died during Thousand-Year Blood War, they have all been sent to hell. So Kubo is only expanding the idea of hell more and more within this one-shot. And even Gron starts talking about how hell has received so much spiritual pressure, so much reishi, that it can no longer hold it in, which is why souls like him are able to start slowly escaping. So again, this is all just setting up new things for the story of Bleach. All of these characters have a chance now to return and resurrect as the hell versions of themselves, just as Grons has. And then we see Ukitage emerge from the gates of hell in order to retrieve Grons, and the chapter finally ends there. It ended on possibly one of the biggest cliffhangers in all of shonen. You guys really believe that Bleach isn't going to return after that? But a lot of people's hopes have unfortunately diminished, because since that one shot, we haven't really received any new information regarding the Hell arc or its continuation, so a lot of fans just assume that this was a one-time thing and we got lucky. However, I don't believe that at all, because in a recent Q&A, Kubo was asked how Yamamoto and Unohana had first met, and Kubo actually declined to reveal the details of their first meeting. Well, if the series is over, why would he just not reveal how Yamamoto and Unohana met? It seems like he's saving this for something in the future. And this is not the first time he's done this either. He's refused to reveal details about all sorts of other things within Bleach. He's refused to reveal details about future Bankais. He's refused to reveal details about the Hell arc, and has stated that both the Hell arc and the movie are completely separate, and that we should not look towards the Hell movie for information about the Hell arc. He is refused to reveal details about Ginjo, and so many more things. Why would he do this? Unless he had the intention of revealing them later on in the story. We also know that Kubo is heavily involved in adding new scenes and things that he wished he added into the manga into the Thousand-Year Blood War anime. So, it's clear that Kubo still feels that his story is incomplete. He is involved currently right now in rewriting the Thousand-Year Blood War arc into how he perfectly envisioned it. And the fact that he is keeping so many things a secret still, all goes to show that he has the intention of revealing it. just not in an interview. He wants to reveal it in his own story, which is why I wholeheartedly believe that the Bleach manga will make its return, especially with how much of a cliffhanger the Bleach Hell arc left out on. My guess is that once the Bleach 1000 Year Blood War anime finally concludes and Kubo has written it the way he originally envisioned it, that is when we will get new information about the Hell arc. Because, in all honesty, he has no reason not to continue it. We clearly see that he wants to continue Bleach, and he still has a lot of things that he wants to talk about and a lot of topics that he has not explored yet. And with all the amazing reception the 1000 Year Blood War anime has received, it's only going to motivate him more to continue Bleach because he clearly sees that fans want it. Anyways, with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and make sure to like and subscribe and let me know what other videos you guys want to see in the future. I hope you all had a great rest of your day and I'll see you guys on the next one.